dito po sa semi-final round ng Grand Matador Fiesta Conference ng inyong PBA. Magandang gabi po muli sa lahat ng ating mga taga-subaybay. Maayong gabi sa atong mga higala sa Timog, Pilipinas na binadiha sa kabisayan ng Mindanao. O kiniandula sa Coca-Cola Tigers ang Red Bull Barako. Lamang ng 23 ang Red Bull Barako as Coca-Cola goes on their offense. Second opportunity here para sa Tigers. Cariaso gets it over to Hatfield over Victor Thomas. Ayaw. And Jimwell Torion sees Victor Thomas up ahead. Whoa!
Alam mo, maganda sana pasada ng Coca-Cola. They were looking for the open man. They were looking for the extra pass, but still couldn't find the basket. And on the other hand, Red Bull making it look so easy in transition.
Parang napakalaki ng contrast, napaka-clearing ng contrast dito sa paglaro ng Coca-Cola at ng Red Bull. Coca-Cola, if you look at them, parang bang wala sa focus di ba? Compared to what Red Bull is doing, they're just pounding it in there.
I think it's the intensity of the defense ng Red Bull, not just taking Coca-Cola out of its rhythm.
Ito, merong agaw. Itong Coca-Cola Tigers, courtesy of Rafi Ribas, picking up that loose ball.
I think this is the most important quarter for Coca-Cola. No? They've got to make a run right here. Because if they wait for the fourth quarter, it will be too late.
Kailangan may babaan ng Coca-Cola to a more manageable level yung kalamangan ng Red Bull Barako. You can't overhaul a 23-point lead, with the blink of an eye. Kailangan yan, tsaga-tsagain mo Damon Harp at low post sees Lordy Tugande wide open for the three-point shot. Doesn't get it, but the offensive board to Damon Harp. Vic Panisi babies that shot. This time it rolls in. So balik na naman sa 23 ang kalamangan ng Red Bull Barako.
Nandiyan pa na ng hustle ng Red Bull, going for the offensive boards and getting the shot.
And then sabi natin, hindi nagpapabaya itong Red Bull Barako. They're not, sitting back on their big lead. Ang ginagawa nila, pukpuk pa rin. Kahit na malaki na po, lumobo na po itong kalamangang ito.
Well, ang idea dyan ni Coach Cheng Giao is talagang to take the fight out of Coca-Cola and hoping that yung momentum ng Red Bull will carry over for the rubber match.
Well, tingnan natin mga kaibigan, ang gusto ng Coca-Cola, tapusin na itong serie ngayon. But they've got a lot of doing to do. Ito, si Vic Panisi, papalitan ni Homer Shea para sa Red Bull Barako. Ito ang ilan sa mga player na sinasabi natin na kulang ang kontribusyon sa game number 1 kanya natalo ang Red Bull Barako. Yan, si Vic Panisi, si Homer Shea, si Jimwell Torion, lahat sila ngayon nagpapakitang gilas. Of course, si Enrico Villanueva, hindi pa ginagamit ni Coach Cheng Giao sapagkat ang plano nila, pipilitin na sana si Enrico Villanueva despite his injury to play kung kinakailangan. Pero so far, they have not seen the need for that.
Villanueva is still sitting out the action. Well, nakita natin, full court press here by Coca-Cola. Ito, yung intensity level ng Coca-Cola looks like it's jacked up here a notch on defense.
Sana naman, for the sake of Coca-Cola, maging hudyat na yan na medyo nagising na nga itong mga manlalaro ng Coca-Cola Tigers at magkaroon ng inspirasyon para maibaba man lang muna. Diyan kailangan mag-umpisa Kailangan ibaba muna yung kalamangan ng Red Bull Barako. So far, it is a monumental 19-point lead para sa Red Bull Barako. Homer Shea getting a miss of Devon Harp and putting back in.
Mabigat because that's another offensive rebound and putback for Red Bull.
So balik na naman sa 21 mga kaibigan ng kalamangan ng Red Bull Barako.
And for Coca-Cola, kung naghahabol sila, and they need to be able to chop this lead down to maybe 10 points entering the fourth period, you cannot afford to give Red Bull second chance attempts.
Abantala, ito na naman sa Homer Shea with a pick and roll on the fast break play. Credit the assist to Lordy Tugande.
No look pass coming from Tugande.
Perfectly implemented, executed fast break play by the Red Bull Barako. Rivas sets up Johnny Abarrientos. Abarrientos off to Sanford. Hindi pumasok yung tira ni Sanford and goes out of bounds in favor of Red Bull.
And no chase for the loose ball by Coca-Cola that time. We were talking about Tugande. What about Tugande's defense on Cariaso? That has also been very key. Cariaso has been limited to only 6 points. Sabi nga natin in the pre-game analysis that Cariaso has averaged 18 points the last 5 games of Coca-Cola, and the Tigers won them all.
Nakuha na ni Rafi Rivas yung bola. Inagaw pa ni Jimwell Torion.
Grabe itong hassle ng Red Bull.
Oo.
Remember, itong Coca-Cola has a 5-game winning streak entering this game.
And Coca-Cola is also attempting to get into their 5th straight finals appearance dito po sa PBA. Mabigat yan kung matatalisod po ng Red Bull Barako. Of course, meron pa tayong isa kung sakasakali man at hindi na makabalik itong Coca-Cola dito sa larong ito. Magkakaroon po ng rubber match sa darating na linggo. Sa Araneta Coliseum naman yan. Coach Video heading it up. Oh. Ito na. Fast break. Cariaso holds Victor Thomas down. Pero sinasabi natin frustration na nothing seems to be going right para sa Coca-Cola Tigers. And you look at Coach Chot Reyes, that says it all.
Well, they give an advantage foul now for Victor Thomas, so he will be looking for free throws.
And Cariaso just picked up his 3rd personal foul.
Very clearly itong Red Bull, pag nakakuha sila ng turnover o kaya nakakuha sila ng rebound on the other end of the floor, takbuhan sila kaagad. Parang hindi sila depleted eh. You know, they're playing with a depleted lineup, but the way they're playing and the way they're running the floor, talagang they want to bury Coca-Cola.
So hindi po ninyo inabot yung aming pag-uumpisa kanina. Si Denver Lopez, alam nyo, matagal na hindi naglalaro. Si Enrico Villanueva, bagamat naka-uniforme yan, may iniinda po yan, may sprain. Si Nelson Asaitono, hindi man na nagpakita rito ngayon sapagkat namamagaraw yung mukha, tinamaan yung mukha niya sa ensayo. So, yun po ang report kanina ni Paolo Trillo sa pag-uumpisa. In contrast, yung Coca-Cola Tigers naman, na maraming injury dati. No, sila Poch Williams, Rudy Hatfield, si Mark Sanford,
Johnny Abarientos,
they're all healthy. Diba? Pero, nothing doing. Sabi nga. Ayun, si Sanford. Backdoor play, wala. Loose ball picked up by Sanford himself. Handing it out to Rudy Hatfield. Oh! Ano na? Hatfield gets it back. One more try. Ayaw pa na nakakuha na ng foul. Pati ako na po frustrate eh.
Si Rudy Hatfield is just shaking his head.
Yeah, well, you know.
Nandun yung pagkakataon, hindi na pumapasok yung bola.
We can only imagine what he's thinking. I mean, you know, what's the guy to do? Lahat na ginawa niya, ayaw talaga pumasok yung bola eh.
Rudy Hatfield had a big game last time out. Nung game number 1, naka 17 points si Rudy Hatfield. But now, Hatfield has scored only 1 point? 1 point. Yeah. 1 point. Okay, now 2 points. Talagang bilang na bigla ko. Bilang na
dalawang beses na nag-split yan, ha? Walang field goal si Rudy Hatfield. And a couple of times that he's been at the free throw line, nag-split pa.
Pero ba yung ang freedom ng Coca-Cola, even in the trapping defense, no? Too late yung pagdating ng trapper eh.
At dito, Johnny Abarientos had to give us the foul.
Kasi na-mismatch siya kaagad eh. He was up against Victor Thomas.
He didn't have to, but he did. Yun yung frustration seeping in. How it goes, Jimwell Torion trying to squeeze in between Johnny Abarientos and Rudy Hatfield.
Well, this is a nightmare for Coach Chot Reyes. I'm sure he didn't expect this kind of a blowout.
It's a nightmare for any coach. Sinasabi ka natin, which is the 3rd quarter, we were expecting na yung Coca-Cola Tigers would show more verve and more energy para naman maimpisa ng konti itong napakalaking dilubyo na kanilang hinaharap. But so far, you know, they've had some brilliant moments, pero sandali lang eh. Binabalikan sila parati ng Red Bull. Ito sa Poch Video against Homer Set. Palpal na naman. Gidaw.
12 seconds to shot clock ng Coca-Cola. Again, the brilliant defense ng Red Bull. Coach Yengiao must be very pleased with the way his boys are performing. Parang they responded to the challenge. Do-or-die situations para sa kanila. Pero sabi nga natin, no? This Red Bull team, it is fierce, it is most ferocious when their back is against the wall. And
you know, I saw the reaction of Coach Yengiao when Rudy Hatfield scored that shot. He was shaking his head. I mean,
nagalit pa.
Bakit yung pinabayaan yun? That's the the kind of, ito pa, ito merong steal and Sanford. Oh, yeah. Ito, binaba na somewhat ng Coca-Cola. Oh, another steal by Rudy Hatfield.
And they score.
Ayan,
Ito na. May
run.
konting momentum ngayon ng Coca-Cola. Look at them now, going for the trap.
But here's Victor Thomas in the front court. Thomas handing it off to Homer Set. And he wanted to give it back to Victor Thomas. There's another steal by Coca-Cola. Ito, tumatama si Johnny Benito out to Mark Sanford. And Punch Williams. Oh! That foul.
Block, but there's a foul.
Oh, by Homer Set. That's going to be number 4 on Homer Set.
Well, biglang nagising ang mga fans dito ng Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's still an imposing 18-point lead, but there's a little bit of a shift of momentum now.
Well, you got to start somewhere. At dito po, nagkaroon ng ratsyada ng mga 5 or 6 points by the Coca-Cola Tigers. A glimmer of hope being seen here by the fans of Coca-Cola. At sabi mo nga, no, 18 puntos na naghihiwalay sa Red Bull at Coca-Cola. Umabot ng 27 yan kanina. Paolo Trillo is back with a report on the halftime instructions ng dalawang kabaran. Paolo?
All right, just an update on both teams during the halftime break. Ang Red Bull Barako, Coach Zheng Diao and the coaching staff, they were very cautious of this Coca-Cola team. Ang instructions nila dito sa Barako was for them to come out here in the second half with the same intensity that they did in the first half. Ang sabi nila, they put a premium on defense, and they said to maintain that same firepower and defensive intensity here in the second half. Para naman sa Coca-Cola Tigers, they're gaining some momentum right now here in the past few plays. Pero ang sabi ni Coach Reyes, ang gusto daw niya, ang goal nila is to put this lead down to about 12 to 15 points at the end of the third quarter. So kailangan mga 12 to 15 points. Si Coach Reyes also put a premium on defense. Ang sabi niya, you guys have to talk on the floor. You have to switch off on defense and make sure that we play good team defense. That's it from here.
Alright, maraming salamat, Paolo. At sa nakita po natin, sabi nga ni Paolo, the last few plays, the Coca-Cola Tigers seem to have responded to the calls of Coach Reyes. They clamped down on defense, and, well, they've been able to cut that lead somewhat to 18 kung ang objective ay 15. Well, that's within striking distance. They are on the way there. At the Fort Nino ay nasa free throw line. The lead is 18 para sa Red Bull Barako. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
You know, there's still a lot of time here in the Bentis the first free throw. Parang tinapon lang ni
Oy, Carancho.
Cagayan de Oro City ba?
Love ko, PBA. Daghang salamat sa atong mga higala din sa Cagayan de Oro City. The city of friendly smiles yata. Sa Cagayan de Oro City. Maayong gabi kaninyo tanan diha sa Cagayan de Oro.
Sa Golden City.
65-48, 17-point lead by Red Bull Barako. Jimwell Torion hemmed in by Carriazo and the Barrientos. Sues for time, and then.
So, dalawang beses na nag-time out si Torion, no? In a tight spot. But, ito si Rudy Hatfield, ba, ano yan? Well, a little bit hot under the collar now because of the way things are going. But, you know, for Coca-Cola, if they can bring this lead down to 10 points at the end of the third period, they will be still in the thick of the fight.
Well, sabi nga ni Paolo, objective ni Coach Reyes, 12 to 15 lang. Medyo matutuwa na siya. Pero sa kasalukuyan, ay baba na nga nila sa 17. Meron pa tayong 5.5 minutes to go. That's a lot of time to bring it down to even 10 or less. Para sa Coca-Cola Tigers, if they can only sustain the momentum that they had a couple of minutes ago, where they went into that rampage that cut the lead down to 18 from 24. Ito mga kaibigan, ang turnovers now going against Red Bull. Oh, ayun pa! Montik na, makaagaw si Johnny Abarrientos. Yun ang sinasabi natin, is this a portent of things to come?
Biglang nagising itong Coca-Cola, no? On the defensive end of the floor.
Medyo nabalikan po ang ihip ng hangin, ano ha? Bahagya. Ito si Victor Thomas working against Hatfield. Gets it down to Homer Set. Balik ulit kay Victor Thomas with the 3-point. Oh! That hurt. Masakit yun para sa Coca-Cola.
Well, nagkaroon ng switch yun. It was Hatfield on Thomas. Tapos biglang si Pochwinho, and Thomas very comfortable shooting over Pochwinho from the outside.
Region inside and the handoff. Reverse left is no good. Homer share. Backs it down para sa Red Bull Barako. 5 minuto na lalabay dito sa ating third quarter. 20 puntos ang abante ng Red Bull Barako. Here's Damon Hart. Para Sanford.
And again, very basic ang ginagawa dito ng Red Bull. No? They go to the half court, they go to the big man at the slot.
Coach Scott Reyes is fuming about something. Probably thought tiki-taka.
Scott Reyes, he's on the floor. It's not the playing court.
Damon Hart inside. Well, you can understand the feelings of Coach Scott Reyes. Medyo nakakabawi-bawi ng konti na yung kanyang koponan. Pero biglang ganito ang mga pangyayari. Damon Hart is still down on the floor. I don't think he's that hurt. Papahinga lang ng konti. Well, wag po ninyo kalilimutan, no? Yung ating first game kanina, mapapanood nyo mamaya. No? Pagkatapos nitong larong ito, slightly delayed telecast of the game between Talk and Text and Barangay Ginebra. Alalahanin po natin, nagwagi ang Barangay Ginebra noong game 1, noong Miyerkules. Ngayon, gusto nyo malaman kung sino nanalo kanina. Pues, malalaman po ninyo, Alex, mamaya nila malalaman pag pinanood nyo.
Hindi natin sasabihin kung sino nanalo. Patalo sa exciting game.
Salbahe ito si Alex. Gusto mo pa ma-preempt yung ating replay. Medyo tagtsagay. Para naman exciting para sa inyo. Barangay Ginebra at ang Talk and Text. Game 2. Mapapanood po ninyo mamaya pagkatapos ito. Samantala, Damon Hart connects on the free throw and makes it a 21-point lead para sa Red Bull Barako. Here's Mark Sanford. Pagkatapos pala ng news, no? May news muna tayo pagkatapos itong game na to. After the news, mapapanood po ninyo ang laban ng Talk and Text ng Barangay Ginebra.
Here's another turnover against Red Bull.
All right. Ito na naman ang Coca-Cola Tigers. Mark Sanford. Uy! Nag-big
Alam mo, parang gumanda na nga ang depensa ng Coca-Cola, but on the offensive side naman,
ayaw pa rin,
they continue to miss because yung depensa ng Red Bull is still there.
It's holding.
Oo. Hindi sila nagpapapaya.
Ito na, Damon Hart inside. Wala. Mark Sanford. Good defense by Sanford on Damon Hart that time. Here's Carriazo. Got Judy Venezuela up in the air. Pero ayaw din pumasok ang tira. Sa kabila, paano ba yan? Paano kayo uusad? Kung nadidepensahan nyo sa kabila, hindi naman kayo nakakascore dito sa inyo. Hindi gagalaw ang score na yan. 21 pa rin ang kalamangan ng Red Bull Barako. Jimbal Torion had to change his mind. Damon Hart is blocked. Oh, look at them diving. Si Homer siya, dumadive. Ito, magpapalit si Coach Chot Reyes ng mga player. Pabalik si Rob Wainwright at si Ato Morano for Johnny Abarientos and Jeffrey Carriazo.
And Morano had a solid first half.
Maganda din naman
especially
niya.
because of his defense.
Well, relatively speaking.
So, tingnan natin if he'll be able to provide some quality minutes here. He had 6 points in the first half.
Out of this Mark Sanford playing the outside after Ponchvino. Rudy Hatfield, that category jumper is no good. Ato Morano flying high, but good timing there by Homer Set. Si Judy Venezuela nasa transport na para sa Red Bull Barako. Tinitignan si Victor Thomas against Rudy Hatfield. At nagpapalakpakan yung mga players, rather mga fans na Coca-Cola as Coach Chot Reyes has just dispatched Freddy Abuda. Freddy Abuda, no?
So all players now of Coca-Cola seeing action in this game. Si Abuda has played only 2 games in this entire conference.
Actually, maganda nilaro niya. Si Freddy Abuda. Didn't get the numbers, pero the usual, hustle play by Freddy Abuda. 3:05 to go here in the third period. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Imbag na rabi yung amin na Pulakay sa Northern Luzon. Ed Pixon po, kasama si Kinito. Nakapatid si Homer Shea. Pochuino will be charged with that foul. So the ball line coverage continues the sports ng game number 2. Put flat.
Kinatid talaga. Naku. That was a bad fall taken by Homer Shea. Kanina, he was also on the floor. when he dove for a loose ball, but Homer said now at the line.
He's got a love affair with the floor.
Oh. Nabanggit mo kanina, no? Ito si Homer Zé had a breakout game during the quarterfinals. He had 20 points in Red Bull's victory over the U.S. selection.
He was cheering hot in that game. Samantala Pochwinio is going to be brought back to the bench as Rafi Rivas has reported back to duty para sa Coca-Cola Tigers. Homer Zé. 70-48, 22-point lead for Red Bull Barako. 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Ato Morano may tangan ng bola para lamang kay Jumel Torion. Rafi Rivas to Mark Sanford. Sanford against Devon Hart. Tries to elevate. Wala. Rob Wainwright picks it up. Off to Rivas at the baseline. Got Victor Thomas out of the way.
Even 20-point lead enjoyed by Red Bull. Now Coca-Cola still trying to trap the ball carrier, pero hindi na gumagana, no?
Kick ball.
Well, their best trapping combination is Abarientos at Jeffrey Carriazo, and both those players are now sitting on the bench.
All right, tuloy-tuloy po na Red Bull at Coca-Cola dito sa ating third quarter. Yan po ating score.
And the penalty situation working against Coca-Cola, giving Red Bull more opportunities to score from the line. Another foul called against Coca-Cola. Si Rafi Rivas yata natawagan. Pangatlo na yan ni Rafi. And Victor Thomas continuing to score the points. 27 points na. Including 3 3-pointers. At ang kanyang katapat si Sanford, only 10 points.
Wow. Well, kung hindi pa niya inabot mga kaibigan, sa umpisa pa lamang, pumukpok na kagad itong Red Bull Barako. They went off to a 16-0 lead in the first quarter. Hindi po nakatikim ni minsan itong Coca-Cola Tigers ng kalamangan dito sa laro ito sa kasalukuyan. Hanggang ngayon, it is now a 22-point lead by Red Bull with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third.
But you remember, of course, it was Victor Thomas. Laro yan for Santa Lucia back in the 2002 Governor's Cup. He played 11 games and averaged 24.6 points. Never came back to play again in the PBA until now. Ito si Coach Rodriguez just walking away from the referee rather than get a technical foul. Holding his peace.
Sabi nga natin, si Coach Chot Reyes has been using different tacks here. At one moment, he is zen-like in his composure. The next moment, he tries to breathe some fire into the bellies of his players, but neither strategies have worked sa kasalukuyan. Tignan natin. Meron pa tayong 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Bob Wainwright. That was a clear shot for Bob Wainwright. Homer Zé has it. Ito, nagtatakbuhan na naman itong Red Bull Barako. They slow it down somewhat. Half-court set para sa Red Bull Barako. Jumel Torion.
Ito, spreading the floor.
Mag-experimento na play.
That's a perfect execution.
Ganun makadali.
They spread the floor, giving an opportunity for a cutter to flash towards the basket. Alam mo, hindi nag-reaction depensa ng Coca-Cola.
Wala.
Pinanood na lang. Ito si Victor Thomas goes straight towards the basket.
Right there, Mark Sanford is able to penetrate and score almost unmolested off the glass. Jumel Torion into the front court against Tom Morano. This is a merciless performance here by Red Bull Barako.
There's another foul on Morano.
Naalala natin tuloy yung term ni kasama natin, yung mga natin kasama sa group ng Sana. No prisoners. That seems to be the battle cry of Red Bull Barako in this game. Nakita niyo naman ito, yung play between Jimol Torion and Victor Thomas. Very simple. Simple na simple, pero hindi nakita yan ng depensa ng Coca-Cola Tigers at napatalikod bigla si Coach Chot Reyes nung makita niyo yung nangyari.
Well, what happened was, ito si Ato Morano took a step back from Torion, giving him an opportunity to throw that lob pass. Kung didikitan mo yung may hawak ng bola, ito makakalob pass si Torion.
Jumel at the line. Raynel Hugnatan comes in for Rafi Rivas on the Coca-Cola side. Kanina po binabalasan ni Coach Chantres, but he has been unable to hit on that magic combination that could at least whittle down this huge lead that Red Bull has erected from the first quarter.
Well, the Jimbo Torion now has a total of 2 points only in this game.
Lindsay Valenzuela hands it off to Homer set. Here's Jimel. 2 points lang ba? Sabi
Oo, 2 points na lang.
Kala mo, papasok yung 3 points yan.
Oo.
Here's Ato Moranos. Ganda na pasa to Mark Sanford, but he's met upstairs by Devon Hart. Ito nga pinag-uusapan natin kinito, na yung depensa ng Red Bull Barako, hindi nagbabago. Ganun pa rin ang anghang ng kanilang depensa. Kung ano yung anghang ng first quarter na kung saan sila rumatsada at nag-breakaway, hindi nila binabago. Ganun pa rin. Napakainit po ng pinakikitang laro nitong Red Bull Barako.
And you take a look at Red Bull's rotation. 38.6 seconds to go. Dalawa pa papasok dito for Coach Geng Liao. Talagang binabaon niya itong Coca-Cola. He's thinking ahead. He's looking at taking a major psychological advantage into game number 3 on Sunday. Binabaon niya talaga itong Coca-Cola para hindi na makabangon.
Alalahanin ko natin mga kaibigan, in game number 1, it was Coca-Cola who won the initial
and only by 4
game.
points.
91-87, yes. Pero dito, talagang gigil na gigil itong Red Bull Barako from the get-go. Sabi nga ng mga Amerikano.
Talagang dinudurog nila itong Coca-Cola, hoping that hindi na makabangon ito for game number 3.
Which
because
will
they would
happen.
be so devastated from this loss, or taking an extra step that time.
Sabi nga natin, it will happen in a couple of days. So, ang iniisip ng Red Bull, hindi ka makarecover ito. Sapagkat maririndi na sila rito kung talagang mapapatuloy ng Red Bull Barako itong napakalaking kalamangan.
Well, it's a 23-point lead. So yung plano ni Coach Chantres to bring down this lead to anywhere between 12 to 15, hindi matutupad, no? Let's see what this 3-point shot can do. Wala eh.
And Homer Shea flying high for that rebound. And there's the buzzer ending action for the third quarter of this game between Red Bull and Coca-Cola. At 23 puntos nga po naghihiwalay sa dalawang koponan. The Red Bull Barako squad continues to Red Bull ang ratsada sa first quarter. At doon sa third quarter, doon lang po nagkaroon ng even na score at 21 all. So naman nanatili po sa 23 ang kalamangan nitong Red Bull Barako.
Well, sa ating pag-upisa dito sa fourth quarter, nakakuha ng turnover kaagad ang Coca-Cola because of their defense. Freddy Abuda.
Yun ang sinasabi natin sa Freddy Abuda. Iba ang dinadala sa hardcourt bawat pasok niya. Nabubuhayan eh. Kapagkat he just has that uncanny ability to get right place at the right time. Here's Ato Morano to Mark Sanford. Back again to Morano. Inside to Sanford, and he is fouled hard by Homer Shea. He'll pick up his 5th personal foul.
Alam mo kanina, it was Freddy Abuda's defense on Homer Shea that forced him to make that pass na na-anticipate ng defender na si Ato Morano on Jimwell Torion, or rather, sino ba yun? Si Topex Robinson.
Well, sa kasalukuyan, it is 76 to 55. And the glaring number here is that Red Bull has only allowed Coca-Cola 55 points after 3 quarters of play. You will note that the Coca-Cola averages about 92 points per game for this conference. Sa quarterfinals na, umabot pa ng 97 yun, almost 98 points.
At ang Coca-Cola in game number 1 had 74 points after 3 quarters. That's a major difference. 74 against 55.
That's right. Ayun, Victor Thomas with the rebound. Vic Panisi has the leather. And wisely gets it over to the front court. And does a Topex Robinson. We are in the first minute of the fourth quarter. Labang pa rin ng 21. Or rather 20. Ang Red Bull Barako. Look at Topex Robinson getting another rebound. Has 7 boards in the game. Topex Robinson signaling the play para sa Red Bull Barako. Panisi spots Victor Thomas inside against Hugnatan. And he will draw the foul from Raynel.
Well, in that situation, ang daming weapons ang Red Bull, no? Topex Robinson could have passed it off to Junti Valenzuela waiting for the pass for the perimeter jump shot. Nandun din si Mick Pinisi. Nasa labas din si Pinisi because tumitira ng presyon. Then you have a Homer Se. Then you also have a Victor Thomas who's very quick around the basket, moving without the basketball. Kanya ang daming options for Red Bull to go through its several weapons.
However, Victor Thomas missing the free throw. We have Leo Benito coming in para kay Atom Morano sa panig ng Coca-Cola Tigers. Alam mo, maganda rito para kay Yengyao, para kay Coach Yengyao. His throat is getting a good rest. Alam mo naman yan, palasigaw yan.
Getting ready for game 3. Ako, I think that Coach Chot Reyes has realized the futility of this game. No? At Hatfield, Abarientos, si Jeffrey Carriazo are now resting on the bench. At mukhang hindi sila ibabalik. Or kung ibalik sila ni Coach Chot Reyes, it will just be for a token appearance.
Well, right now it is a 21-point lead para sa Red Bull Barako. And Homer Se's got to get away with a left-handed layup. Homer Se with 9 points in the game.
Coach Trino, ipapasok ni Coach Chot Reyes, and he might even replace Mark Sanford. Who knows? So this could be the white flag being raised here by Coca-Cola. And why not? No, you preserve your key players for the bigger game on Sunday, which is the do or die for both teams.
Para naman hindi punong-puno ng frustration and despair yung katawan mo pagkatapos itong larong ito.
Kasi binabaw na ng Red Bull ito Coca-Cola. And you don't want your key players to feel that kind of frustration on the floor while the other team is burying you.
The Red Bull Barako so far has run roughshod over the Coca-Cola Tigers, but here, turnover by Red Bull Barako. Mark Sanford against Mick Pinisi. Nice layup there before Mark Sanford. But they're still looking at a huge 19-point deficit. Throwback Robinson in the front court against Leo Benito. Ito sinesenyas ni Throwback ang play. They go to Victor Thomas against Hugnatan. And,
turnover. Nakaapak doon. But again, ito yung versatility ni Victor Thomas na napapansin natin. No? He can play the outside, he can post up. He gives you so many options and so many... so he has such a wide variety of shots sa kanyang arsenal.
Well,
may foul doon si Topex.
Well, he dove for that basketball.
Pero talagang nagpapakamatay si Topex.
Well, nakita naman natin kung gaano yung intensity na pinakikita nito si Topex Robinson and the rest of the Red Bull cast. Pumunta ito si Victor Thomas. Very deceiving kasi ito si Victor Thomas. Titignan mo titignan mo parang manipis ang katawan compared, of course, doon sa ibang mga imports. Tapos hindi naman siya malaki. He's not tall. He's not spectacular, but he delivers the goods. That's the important thing. That's why Coach Yengyao has opted to stay with him. Mark Sanford. Ponchino picks it up. Back to Sanford. And he goes up. Then it's fouled. Good night. Good night there para kay Homer Se. But, well, he was able to redeem himself tonight after a ho-hum performance in game number 1 where he didn't score anything. Now he has 9 points with a bulwark on defense and rebounding.
So -2 na mga big men, or actually -3 big men for Coach Yengyao. Asay Tono, nakalaro. Enrico Villanueva, malabang hindi na maglalaro. And that's Homer Se was fouled out. But I think it's going to be a good sign then for Coach Yengyao because by the time Sunday rolls, partner, baka makalaro na ito si Rico Villanueva. He will need that extra couple of days rest to get ready for that big game.
Well, nabanggit nga natin kanina na ang balita sa atin, kanina ang balak nila, pilitin si yung sprain, yung pilay ni Enrico Villanueva, ilalaro nila. Pero, nung nakaratsyada sila ng ganito, hindi na ko kinailangan. So, that's a bonus para sa Red Bull Barako, mga pagpapahinga. Ito si Enrico Villanueva. Next race from the side.
And he can still rest another day, bukas. Bago sila maglaro muli.
Malaking bagay yan para mabigyan ng pagkakataon na gumaling. Imbis na bugin mo yung pilay ngayong gabi, pahinga ang maibibigay
Ito,
sa injury.
ang rotation ng player ni Coach Shot Reyes, hindi na sinasali sina Hatfield, si Barrientos, pati si Rafi Ribis, nando na. Sitting on the far end of the bench. So puro mga shock troopers na lang nasa loob for Coca-Cola.
It's just a matter of time, 8 minutes and 43 seconds to be specific, to be exact. Ito, yung starters ng Coca-Cola, 33. Si Victor Thomas mag-isa, 33.
Naku, Diyos ko.
Ano ibig sabihin niya? Doesn't take a nuclear scientist to figure that out.
Oh. But an air ball here from Victor Thomas. Well, okay lang. Meron naman siya 33 points. Kaya,
pagbibigyan ni Coach Yang Jiao. Sige na ito. All right, Coca-Cola Tigers. They are down by 20. Wainwright. The closest that Coca-Cola has come to the lead of Red Bull Barako after Red Bull led 16-0 was 17 back in the sometime in the third quarter. Pagkatapos rumachada na naman ng Red Bull, iniwanan na naman nila itong Coca-Cola. Hindi po makausad-usad, no?
Oo,
Itong Coca-Cola,
And Mark Sanford played for the University of Washington.
And makikita ninyo sa body language, ano mga players ng Coca-Cola dyan sa bench, kung ano nararamdaman nila. Gusto na nila matapusin ito Diba? Kung baka, bukas na sana ngayon. And ulitan on Sunday. Well, of course, hope springs eternal, sabi nga nila. So you got to be working in there. Yun, si Mark Sanford, At a shot clock. Adams Leo Avenido to the front court. Avenido off to Freddy Abuda. Abuda inside. Steal by Juti Valenzuela. Valenzuela scooting into the front court. Nice fake. And a nice block again by Sanford, aided by Rob Wainwright. 18 puntos po ang abante ng Red Bull Barako. Meron tayong 8 minuto na nalalabi dito sa larong ito ng Red Bull Barako at ng Coca-Cola Tigers. We have a timeout called by Coach Chot Reyes. 30 seconds lang po ito. Gordy Tugade off to Devon Hart against Freddy Abuda.
Ito, makita natin ang kombinasyon ni Coach Yang Diao sa loob ng court. Hindi nakasali yung kanilang import. So this is a big luxury on the part of Red Bull, playing importless. And they're holding on to an 18-point lead. Alam mo kanina yung timeout ng Coca-Cola, hindi man lang nagsalita si Coach Chot Reyes sa kanilang mga player, no? At he used that timeout actually to talk to the referees to say, ano ba, clarify din kung ano nangyari dito, no? Because natatawagan sila ng foul, yung kabila naman daw, hindi. So, yun ang parang taing ni Coach Chot Reyes, no? I don't know whether that's legitimate or not, pero I think he just wants to get the referee's attention.
Well, you got to try everything now. With this kind of a situation.
I think, he's just trying to work the referees in anticipation of the big battle on Sunday because hindi na niya binabalik si Barrientos, si Carriazo, si Hatfield. His key players are sitting on the bench. And it doesn't look like they'll be playing again. Yan ang mga key players ni Coach Chot Reyes who are going to be resting, I think, the rest of this game for that rubber match, do or die, on Sunday.
Araneta Coliseum po gagawin dyan.
Tsak na punong-puno Araneta Coliseum for that one. A big duel in the offing here, Coca-Cola and Red Bull. Rubber match.
Well, naibaba na ni Mark Sanford yung kalamangan to 16. Come on, Harp trying to retaliate on the other side. This could be the closest that Coca-Cola
if they score
can
here.
Come.
They hit a three-pointer here. Well done.
Whoa! Ayan, 14 na lang. 14 na lang.
Lumalaban. I might have spoken too soon. This is just a 14-point lead, 7 minutes to go.
Miguel Torion, tuloy-tuloy, wanted to get it back in a hurry. But basket is not going to be counted. Oh, is it?
It looks like counted.
Yeah, it's counted. Three.
Oh, malaking bagay yun for Red Bull. And Coach Yeng Giao, sensing an uprising here, is trying to bring back, yes, he will now bring back Victor Thomas.
Pinalitan sa duty Valenzuela ni Victor Thomas, panig ng Red Bull Barako. Jim Altorion can come up with a three-point play opportunity and bring the lead back to 17. But he misses on that free throw. Mark Sanford, gigil na gigil dito, ha? Kakaiba, pinakikita ni Mark Sanford sa kanyang mukha, no? Ito.
Siya kumakahit ngayon, eh.
Oo. Ayan na. Dinabas, kaya ito Morano. Morano, kick out to Rob Wainwright with a three-point shot. Not there, but they get it back. There's a Benito. Kaya ito Morano. Sanford asking for the leather. He will try the three-point shot. Wala. And Nick Pinisi comes down with the rebound para sa Red Bull Barako. Here's Victor Thomas. As a Benito claims he got it on the kisser. Pinisi, three-pointer. Wala. Reverse by Lordy Tugade. Balik na naman sa 18. Ang kalamangan ng Red Bull. Coach John Reyes has just dispatched Will Antonio to the officials table here. Rob Wainwright, Freddy Abuda. Sanford against Victor Thomas. Goes up. Misses the shot. Thomas para sa rebound. 4-on-2. Jim Altorion. Following jumper by Jim Well, and a foul is going to be called. Leo Avenido. Papasok din dito sa Reynel Hugnatan. Kasama ni Will Antonio as soon as they're acknowledged. Jim Altorion at the line.
Ayan si Leo Benito, nakangiti na lang. I think he disagreed with that call.
Oh.
And Coach Otres is also getting the Coca-Cola fans to applaud. Focus natin si Coach Otres kaya.
Coach Otres is leading
Yeah.
the applause.
He's applauding, and he's getting all the Coca-Cola fans to also applaud with him.
Well, alam natin, sarcastic ito.
Oo, sarcastic yan. But these are all psych tactics now. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, ang pakiramdam kasi nila kanina, pakiramdam nila na-foul si Leo Abinido pero walang tinawag. Kasi dito sa kabila, si Abinido natawagan. Here he comes, Leo Abinido.
so yung 16-0 opening lead ng Red Bull. Ayun that was unforgivable. If you were Coca-Cola, hindi sila naka-arangkada at all to stop that surge.
Jim Altorion, this is on the fast break play, and a loose ball foul is going to be called. And that's scrambled for the rebound. We see number 10. That would be Ato Morano.
That's a penalty.
And again, the Coca-Cola fans break out into an applause to dramatize what they perceive to be an injustice. That's very...
Well, you know, an 18-point lead, I don't think you can, you can make a case for, against officiating. I thought Red Bull just played harder. They showed more effort. Yung aggressiveness at intensity level nila.
Iba talaga eh.
Iba talaga kung back against the wall. Itong Red Bull responded to the challenge. And there's Mark Sanford now. He's sitting on the bench. So white flag na to for Coach Chot Reyes.
Nakikita niyo yung body language, ha? Yung bench ng Coca-Cola nakalugmok. Itong nasa Red Bull, relax na relax eh.
Ito talagang hinahabol pa nila itong possession ng Coca-Cola. Oh. Look at the way they're contesting the shot. Grabe ito.
Ang dikit ng depensa. Ato Morano, however, slices the middle pero ayaw pumasok. And it's picked up by Lordy Tugade out to Victor Thomas in the front court. Thomas sinulubong ni Freddy Abuda. And Red Bull Barako, they're not going to be in a hurry. They've got 13 on the shot clock. Victor Thomas off to Nick Pinisi. Back again to Thomas with a three-point shot.
Matindi pa din itong ang depensa ni Freddy Abuda.
Oh.
He took away the dribble drive ni Victor Thomas and forced him to take the outside shot.
Leo Benito inside, entangled with Victor Thomas, and a foul is going to be called on Thomas. That's going to be 2 shots on Leo Avenido. 20-point lead. Ito ang malungkot para kay Jeffrey Cariaso. 22 po ginawa niya ng game 1 tonight. Only 8 points on 4 of 11. And some good looks at the basket. Just couldn't get it to fall. Yun, that says it all. Off night para kay Jeffrey Cariaso.
At si Coach Yang Giao still keeping Victor Thomas on the floor along with starting lineup yata ito ni
Oh, yan ang starting lineup niya.
hindi.
Si Lodi na
there. Pero si Harpen Penisi, who started this game, are on the floor along with Thomas.
Ito, PBA replay. Bukas ho ito. Alas 4 hanggang alas 7 ng gabi. The game between Santa Lucia Realty and Ginebra, which happened June 6th this year. Lodi Tugade away.
Another dunk shot coming from Tugade. Now in this quarter, for Coach Shot Reyes, only 2 locals have scored. Abuda with 2 points and Avenido with 1 point. So it's almost been an all Mark Sanford show dito sa 4th quarter for Coca-Cola. Sanford now has 22 points.
Bigat ng mga pangyayari dito para sa Coca-Cola. Will Antonio. Yes.
Now in this quarter, sabi nga natin kanina, hindi na naglaro sina Barrientos, Hatfield at Cariaso. At may foul pa dito si Will Antonio, shooting na naman ng Red Bull.
Alright, penalty situation po ito. At bibigyan po ng dalawang pagkakataon sa Jimwell Torion.
Torion only 6 points in game number 1. Actually, meron lang siyang 4 ngayon, no? Oh, he continues to miss from the line.
He and Topex Robinson have been alternating at the point guard slot. Hindi nakalaro ito si John Ordonio. But, well, Jimwell and Topex have done quite well. Just a point guard slot.
At saka si Victor Thomas is now recalled to the bench. So he finishes the game with 35 points. Scrap time na lang ito. But alam mo, it's also interesting to find out how the players respond to a situation like this, no? Especially yung mga role players ni Coach Shot Reyes.
Reynald Hugnatan, you can't fault him for not exerting any effort. Dahil makita nyo naman, talagang lahat na ginawa niya, pero wala talagang nangyayari so far.
Well, I'm sure what Coach Shot Reyes wants from his boys is that lumaban sila, no? These last 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Laban sila para hindi masyadong magandang momentum ng Red Bull going to game number 3, no? And of course, the shock troopers, they also want to be able to show that they deserve the playing time that they're getting right now.
Well, sometimes, ilang beses natin nakita dito sa PBA, no? Minsan, yung mga dito sa mga ganitong sitwasyon, nakikita natin discovery. Yung mga hindi masyado nakapaglalaro, no? And, well, yun, may agaw from Leo Avenido. Well, they'd like to bring this down to a more respectable.
Yes, and this is what I'm saying, no? Ang gusto ni Coach Shot Reyes, lumaban sila until the very bitter end.
And it is outside for Coca-Cola. Junior Venezuela lost the handle there.
And Freddy Abuda's defense again. Walang kupa siya ng depensa ni Freddy, ha? Nandiyan pa rin. Forcing that turnover right there sa harap natin.
Yes. Gary David to Reynald Hugnatan. Ito nga sinasabi mo, ganito yung mga shock troopers. Kung minsan, kailangan sila na ang palaro mo para naman maiba eh. Maiba yung takbo eh. Diskarte. Ooh, difficult shot by Jimmy Torion, in and out. Was spat out by the goal there.
But sandali, may foul against Torion. Penalty situation on Red Bull.
14 na lang ito, ha?
Bababa ito sa 12 with 2:51 to go.
It's not impossible.
It's certainly not impossible. A string of 3-point shots will put Coca-Cola back into this game.
As we said, it's not impossible. We might feel it's improbable Pero
Ano kaya? Will Coach
natin.
Otres bring back Mark Sanford? Will he bring back Abarientos? Bababa ito sa 12 na lang.
Freddy Abuda,
Oo, there's Sanford. He's sitting on the bench. Thomas, ganun din. Nakaupo na din sa bench.
2 minutes and 51 seconds to go. Mahaba yan. Pinisi recovers it para sa Red Bull Barako. Swarming defense here being employed by Coca-Cola on the ball carrier. Ito si Pinisi. And then rightly, Pinisi says, let's not hurry this. Tayo lamang eh. Nabitawan ni Jimbo Torion. And here come the Tigers. Reynal Hugnatan leaving it to Gary David. And he scores to cut the lead down to 11. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Near steal by Reynal Hugnatan.
May deflection pa sila. There's Coach Otres. Ito yung effort na sinasabi natin. Now, if Coca-Cola will lose this game, they will lose this game fighting down to the last second.
That's what they'd like to be able to do.
Nako, ito.
May pumasok ang tira ni Lordy
They could
Tigade.
bring down this lead to just a single digit.
Here's Will Antonio. Antonio gets the ball high. Here's Freddy Abuda as we go to the last 2 minutes. Brought to you by Hope, the luxury cigarette. Jim Torion claims it para sa Red Bull Barako. Here's Lordy Tigade. Again, ayun, sabi, hindi naman kailangan magkapura. The lead has been cut down to 11 points by Coca-Cola. And Lordy Tigade draws the foul. So, pupunta po si Lordy Tigade sa free throw line. Whoa! Hindi rin pumasok. One more for Lordy. And it is an even dozen lead once again para sa Red Bull Barako. Will Antonio trying to crash into the paint. And as Mayor Benito goes up, merong foul na tatawagin. Devon Harper to foul number 4. There's 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining. Semi-final round game. Game number 2 of the best of 3 series between Coca-Cola and Red Bull Barako. Sa pagpasok po dito sa laro ito ng mga Coca-Cola ay 1 game. They could have won it outright. Kung sila po nagugili dito sa laro ito. Pero by the way it looks, mukhang magkakaroon po tayo ng game 3 sa linggo.
Well, Ed, with 1:25 to go, mukhang nagkakainitan dito, no? Now, some key players of Red Bull still on the floor. You do not want them to get involved in any sort of altercation that might merit a suspension or something like that, no? So, you don't want this to happen. And here's another foul by Coca-Cola at si Coach Otres. Talagang tuwan-tuwa siya, no?
I'm sure hindi siya natutuwa, pero pinagtatawanan niya.
Yes. Yan ang sarcastic applause ni Coach Otres. But, you know, again, I don't think this is an indictment on officiating. I thought Red Bull just played a solid game to win this one. And you can't take that away from them. 16-0 opening to set the tone for this game.
At talagang walang humpay yung atake ng Red Bull on both ends of the court. Yung depensa nila, yung offensa nila, napakaganda. No?
I thought by and large the officiating was okay.
Alright, wala ko reklamo. Mayor Benito. Exeter foul. Ito, kanina pa po talagang pinipressure ng Coca-Cola ang ball carrier. Here, the fast break happens para sa Red Bull Barako. Lead is 11 para sa mga kabataan ni Coach Yang Giao at 93-82. Well, medyo lumobo na lang, lumaki na lang yung mga numero dito, no? Pero in the first 3 quarters, nakita natin na talagang yung depensa ng Red Bull held Coca-Cola down.
Now, this is just a 9-point lead by Red Bull at tag-foul pa ang Coca-Cola dito to stop the clock. As Victor Thomas, great game for him, and he is our choice for best player. Who else?
Itaas mo, best player of the game, brought to you by San Miguel Pale Pilsen. Itaas mo, 35 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 shot blocks. Another one of those games ni Victor Thomas, or performances by Victor Thomas na hindi mo gaano napapansin, pero you know, he had some spectacular shots there. May pagkakamera siya ito si Victor Thomas.
Natusok yata ang mata eh. Sino nakatusok to? Si John Ordonio yata nakatusok to sa mata ni Victor Thomas. Naku, baka ma-injure pa sa game number 3 in a freak accident. He's got an ice pack now in his eyes.
Mukhang masakit talaga. Raydel Hugnatan cuts it down further. Sabi nga natin medyo respectable lang. Yun lang hinahanap ng Coca-Cola sa puntong ito, no? Na hindi maging masakit sa mata yung final score.
Okay naman ang objective ni Coach Otres, because ito, looks like they still might be able to score. Naku, they still do.
Ayun, sila Toyo. Ayun pa rin, Gary David, finally.
So the lead has been brought down now to just 7 points.
Yun ang sinasabi natin, medyo mas respectable yung mga numero at the buzzer. It is 95-88, a 7-point win by Red Bull Barako after leading by as many as 27 points. Well, siguro napagod na rin ang Red Bull Barako towards the end.